their daughter to someone who's actually a good devotee and has a uh, training in Krishna consciousness. Just because someone may be good in mathematics or in their studies and has a good job, those are some criterions. But the real criterion should be: is the boy a good devotee, capable of acting like a spiritual master for the wife? Okay. Uh, Here it is clearly said, Samyak Shadadaya, that with great faith one should receive knowledge from the spiritual master, and with great faith execute the performance of service. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, has especially stressed the instruction of the spiritual master. One should accept the instruction of the spiritual master as one's life and soul. Whether one is liberated or not liberated, one should execute the instruction of the spiritual master with great faith. It is also stated that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart. One does not have to seek the Lord outside. He is already there, in the heart of everyone. One simply has to concentrate on one's worship in good faith, as instructed by the bona fide spiritual master, and one's efforts will come out successfully. In other words, you don't have to seek someone outside of yourself. You have to, because you already have Krishna in your heart. So one should go inside rather than outside. Inside meaning seeking, uh, and well, inside means that you understand that God is in your heart and is witnessing everything we say, do, desire, etc. That is the beginning of, let's say, becoming a serious person. Um, Instead of outside, one must look inside, uh, and recognize that God is watching everything that one does. What God knows the motive of everyone and the desires of everyone, and that is the number one, let's say, criterion for being a civilized person. They recognize that God is in their heart, and there's no way of hiding anything from Krishna. Just like if you, let's say, have a parent that's always watching you and everything you do, you'd be careful. The problem is that oftentimes kids don't want to have such close supervision of a parent, and they act one way in the company of the parent and another way when they're with their friends. However, uh, the original, I mean, the supreme parent is Krishna himself, and he's in the heart of everyone, and then you can't hide anything from Krishna. So that is a sobering and realistic understanding that a person can have, uh, that will lead to, eventually having a serious spiritual life. Understanding that there is always a witness. A thief does not want to have a witness. And when they think that nobody is seeing them, they can get away with, stealing or whatever. But that's impossible to not have a witness because Krishna is in the heart of everyone. Understanding the presence of Krishna in the heart, one will hesitate uh, trying to do something illicit because they know that there's no question of privacy, that Krishna is always in the heart and he's always the witness of what we're doing. Many times people think, well, I'll lock the door of my house, then I'll go up to the bedroom and lock the door of the bedroom, and now I can do whatever I want. There's no witness. That's not true. Krishna is the witness. The let's say bugs and other living entities, even in the bedroom, they're also witness. So you're always going to have a witness. It's impossible to be free of that. Whereas people think, no, no, nobody's watching me now. I can do what I want. It's not possible. There's always going to be a witness. And therefore, one should be concerned about uh, that and not think that they can get away with something. And just like one time I was talking to a friend of mine who was cheating on his wife. And I asked him, I said, why are you doing this? He said, I thought I could get away with it. that's that's like the dumbest thing. Yeah. You can't get away with anything. There's always going to be a witness, and the are the trees, the all the different living entities in the world. They're witnessing everything we do. So you cannot get away with anything. So this is a sobering and realistic uh, realization that people should have or learn that you can't get away with anything. There's always going to be a witness. And the ultimate witness is Krishna in the heart of the living entity. Okay.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
question is, what is the strongest force? Is the people can get away, they do it, or is because they are bound so strong, it's hard for them to unknot themselves?
I'm not understanding your question. What is that again?
What is the primary force? Is it because they think they can get away, or is it because they're strongly bound to the other person?
It's ignorance. When a person is ignorant, they fantasize their actions. They think they're smarter than everybody else, or they think they uh, have a perfect plan and they can execute it without anybody finding out about what they're doing. It's basically ignorant. You can't get away with anything. There's always going to be a witness. And the ultimate witness is Krishna himself. So if you learn that and understand that, then you won't even try to get away with something. But if you're ignorant, you think, well, nobody's watching me. I can do this, I can do that, and get away with it. Like a thief does not want to have any witnesses, right? But it's impossible because there's always going to be a witness. Ultimately, the number one witness is Krishna who's in the heart of everyone. See, these are things that young kids should be taught right from early age, that it's impossible to get away with anything because there's always going to be a witness, and the ultimate witness is Krishna himself. And yeah,
Question.
yeah.
Ignorance is caused by the Brahma, but created by the Brahma for the living entities to forget and have the independence. But some devotees, some living entities, they overcome this ignorance. Some devotees, they are trapped under the ignorance because of the pious activities.
Well, that's because you don't come to class every day and listen and learn. If you regularly, like for example, the kids go to school. Are they learning things like this? No.
No.
So they try and do things that are illicit, thinking they can get away with it. But when you realize you can't get away with anything, there's always going to be a witness. And the ultimate witness is Krishna himself. So if you know that, then you won't try to get away with something. But if you think there's no witness, then you'll try and do something thinking you can get away with it. So it's all about education, proper education. And a thief does not want to have a witness of what he's doing, because then he can be prosecuted and get caught. So sometimes they kill a person so that they cannot be caught. But there's always going to be a witness, and the ultimate witness is Krishna himself. So these are things that we have to learn. Otherwise, we'll uh, some people might think, well, I can get away with this because I'll do this and I'll do that, and no one will know what I'm doing. It's not possible. It's always going to be a witness. So we should uh, understand that and not think that we can get away with anything. Like, for example, let's say you go to the supermarket and when the lady is checking you out makes a mistake and gives you more uh, money back uh, because she makes a mistake. So now you're in a dilemma. You see that makes a mistake. Now, are you going to tell her that she made a mistake? She's giving you too much money back? Or are you going to just not say anything and walk away with that extra money? Say, so these are tests to see if someone is honest or dishonest. Uh, so if you see that the person in the store is giving you more money back than what you actually deserve, and that's what you actually should get. If you say, "Wait a minute, I think you gave me too much money, man," you know, and they say, "Oh my God, you're right. Thank you very much. You're an honest person here." Or if someone just doesn't say anything and walks away, knowing that the lady made a mistake.
Or sometimes the person walks out of the store, finds out he had more,
Yeah.
and then thinks that, oh, Krishna maybe gave it to me.
Yes, that's
Some of the past karma. Just keep it like that. So
well,
it's rough, right?
they might do that, but what'll happen is that in their next life they have to take birth again to give that money back.
But we are intelligent. We think intelligent that maybe the past karma giving us.
Then what?
Past karma will only give if it is a rightful earning.
Okay.
If it is a rightful earning, then it is a past karma. There's nothing like,
See, you can never get away with anything.
doesn't belong to you.
You temporarily might think I got away with it, but Krishna is the witness.
Now, what do we think that we got it because of past karma?
That is ignorance.
That's speculation. You don't know that. You might say that, but you don't know.
That's always very tricky.
Yeah. Yeah, and people will respect you. Say, oh, you're an honest person. Normally people wouldn't say that I gave you too much money.
Yeah, one time I deposited
And also, we have to think about.
I deposited $10,000 in the bank,
Hmm.
and then the banker put 100,000. I called.
You told them?
Yeah.
the number.
In the number, the types instead of
10,000.
4 zeros, they
Yes.
put 5 zeros, and the
Right.
balance showed up.
Yeah.
And then
I
it will be corrected after that, right?
Later, I feel like the moment I
That's what we did.
No, but they're gonna find out.
Yeah, they're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in this case, right, there are actually consequences for the shop, whatever the attendant. If she makes a mistake, they
needs job 100% sure.
they either still take from her salary or some penalty she will pay.
Somebody has to pay.
Yeah.
Whether you or her. Whatever.
we get these attachments with money or second sometimes prasadam also.
Prasad is okay.
See, you have to realize no one can get away with anything. There's always going to be a witness. And the ultimate witness is Krishna. If you think you can get away with something, that's ignorance. Okay. This one devotee was cheating on his wife, and he got caught. And I asked him, I said, why did you do this? I thought I could get away with it. You can't get away with anything. There's always going to be a witness. See? So it's something we have to learn, you know. There's always going to be a witness. The ultimate witness is Paramatma, you know. So we can't get away. No matter how great our plan is, there's going to be a witness, and therefore you can't get away with anything. That's like the first thing a kid should learn, you know.
Yeah.
That it's impossible to get away with anything because Krishna is the witness of everything we do.
Yeah, sometimes when we only get caught, Maharaj, that ignorance gets cleared. And sometimes we wish why didn't you get the clarity early on?
Well, what do you mean by clarity? Clarity
It
is
means
you
it's
can't
like
get
opened
away
up,
with
oh,
anything.
this is wrong. Like once you get caught,
Yeah.
then you come to consciousness that, oh, I did something wrong. And a lot of folks, like, they
Well,
experience
people
only when they
know
get caught.
people know when they're doing something wrong. But what they don't know is that you can't get away with anything.
Hmm.
It's because they think they can get away. That's why they do it. If they think, oh, I'm going to definitely get caught if I do this, well, they wouldn't do it.
Yes, that clear consciousness is not there. Only when you
Exactly.
get caught that something opens up. Okay, I did something.
Well, if you observe, at least there's the desire or greed or whatever, and there is a conscience that is picking you, right? That is wrong. This is wrong. For example, that 100,000.
Yeah.
There's two forces for you. One is I don't own that money. So there is that intelligence is also there. But then the greed that, you know what, maybe they made a mistake and this. So
Well, we should not want that money
yeah.
because we're gonna you say, oh, I didn't realize you gave me, $10,000 more than I should get. Like, come on, that's nonsense. You obviously see that right away that the teller made a mistake, right? So best thing is always to be honest, not take more than what you're supposed to get. See, that's the point. We should be satisfied with whatever Krishna gives us easily. We should not be hankering all the time for more and more. We should be satisfied. If we're meant to be poor in life, we should not, uh, be, let's say, always looking to get more and more. We should be satisfied whatever we have. Otherwise, we become what you would call um, we become, always thinking about, no, I want more. I want more. This is not enough. I want more. Just I had a friend of mine, and he had made some good uh, uh, investments, and he had a portfolio of about $2 million. So I said to him, uh, I said, look, you got $2 million. I mean, why don't you just get rid of your job and retire? That's a lot of money, $2 million, and you can have more time for Krishna consciousness. He said, no, it's not enough. He said it like that. I got scared when he said it. The way he said it, like, it's not enough, right? Then I realized, oh, there's something wrong with it. And what happened? The there was a downturn in the stock market, and he lost everything, and he went minus also. And I didn't lose. He didn't only lose everything; it went minus. Now he was completely wiped out. If he had listened to what I said, he could have retired. He had $2 million in his portfolio, but it was completely eradicated by a downturn, and the kind of ways that he was investing. It was investing only 5% to buy
The margin investment.
margin investment. He thought, as long as everything goes right, he'll make money. He never realized that, everything could go wrong.
I think a couple of years back, one person lost $20 billion.
Oh my God.
Really like that.
Yeah.
You see how it's all on paper.
Yeah.
It's not real, actually. You can look at your bank account, you have $10 million in the bank, but you can look at your bank account another time, you have zero.
It's not even nowadays paper, Maharaj. It's all
Yeah.
computer screen.
Yeah.
Digital.
Yeah.
It's so virtual.
One bug can wipe out all of earth.
We have to learn, that everybody has their karma, right, from previous lives. So we should be satisfied with whatever Krishna gives us. And then we have time for Krishna consciousness. But if we're never satisfied, we're going to keep spending all our time trying to make more and more and missing the opportunity of being Krishna conscious. Actually, it's better just to depend on Krishna. Then you'll see Krishna arranges things so that you don't have to be worried about, what's going to happen in the future. I mean, that's the main thing that inspires people to work harder and harder. Then you're not sure what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
But if you have complete faith in Krishna, then you're not worried about the future. So you don't have to, make more and more money. Just like my friend, he had $2 million in his portfolio. And I said, why don't you just, sell it all and then retire? It's not enough. He said it like that. It's not enough. I realized, oh my God, he's going crazy. You can retire $2 million. That's plenty of money, right? But for some people, it's not enough, right? Then what happened? He lost it all on the stock market, and then he felt really bad because he had at one point he had $2 million, and then now he lost it all. And I told him, like, why don't you just sell all your stock and retire? I said, it's not enough.
Guru Maharaj,
It's plenty.
when poor person walks on the street, somehow finds the money with a bag with money.
Yeah.
What is that, right?
Well, that happened to me. That happened to me. This is a long time ago. We didn't have any money, and Prabhupada was coming. And I woke up very early in the morning, and we had to go to the airport to pick up Prabhupada, but we didn't have any money. I was thinking, what am I going to do? I'm going to hitchhike to the airport, but I can't hitchhike back with Prabhupada. I can't say Prabhupada, just stand here. I'll go like this. When someone stops, then we'll jump into the. I was just like devastated. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was walking slowly around our small little temple, chanting my rounds, and I noticed there was a bag, little brown bag, paper bag, But I didn't stop to look what was in it. I was just thinking, how would you do this today? And then finally, I said, oh, what is this bag? So I opened it up, it's full of money. There were 4,000 francs in it. I couldn't believe it. I took it, I put it underneath my arm, and put my shutter on. And I was thinking, if anyone comes and asks, should I, let them know that I have it or not? But I put it underneath my arm and put the shutter on. But nobody came. It was like a miracle. And we had just enough money to take care of Prabhupada. You know, we'd take a taxi, we could have prashad and everything. We didn't have any money at that time. And I was just, devastated. Now he's going to land in the airport, like say 12 o'clock. And I didn't even know how I'm going to get to the airport. But there's a brown bag with 4,000 French francs. It was just sitting there.
That you can think is
Yeah,
Krishna.
because you're strongly focused on serving the Guru in this case,
Yeah,
and Krishna.
it was a miracle. And nobody ever came to ask did you find a brown bag with some money in it? Nobody came. So I just took it as Krishna's mercy.
That we can take.
That challenge, that's why this is a trap for normal people. They get something without hard work. They say it's Krishna's mercy. Okay, let's take it.
They use it for Krishna's service.
Well, we used all that money
Yeah.
to, have a way to go to the airport, come back with Srila Prabhupada, have prashadam and everything, and flowers, and
Yeah.
it was just a miracle. And no one ever asked, did you find a brown bag, with $4,000?
So Krishna definitely watches. If you get something, what is it used for?
Yeah.
That is the test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Use it in the service of that whose belonging it is,
Yeah.
right?
So if I in that time I was not Krishna conscious. If I was, then it's a better thing I could just call them or use two ways. Both are okay.
Sometimes mysterious things happen, in Krishna consciousness. That was a mysterious thing. That was
Yeah,
really
bit of
mysterious. And no one ever called or came asking for the money, So it just, I don't know how it happened, but it happened at the right time. Yeah.
similar episodes were also described by, I think, Shyam Sundar
Yeah.
from England. They were also not having any money, and then somewhere from the second floor or third floor, the dollars or something, they were flying through.
Really?
Yeah, and then it's there in the book.
Yeah, the rhino.
They're chasing the rhinos. So, huh? Yeah, Swami. Well, it was also miraculous.
Yeah.
And there's nobody. They lived anywhere.
Krishna book printing also. Krishna book printing.
Honeyball. Well, these things happen when you really, I guess, completely surrendered to Prabhupada. Okay. So now, let's see, we have a few more minutes.
It's better to be always in that need, Maharaj.
Well, you should always depend on Krishna. He's not going to let you down, even in the worst, most terrible situation. He's always going to protect his devotee. Kunteha pratijanihi nami bhakta parasite. Declare it loudly that my devotee will never perish. So that's a promise that Krishna makes.
At least in the Kali Yuga, is it fair to say, Maharaj, that if we don't have wealth, beauty, or fame, then we become more dependent on Krishna? That's not a valid statement.
Well, that should be the right way. Some people get angry at God.
Yeah.
They said, why am I poor all the time? Just chanting Hare Krishna. I'm not going to chant anymore.
Recently, I heard also.
I prayed and I prayed that, my daughter shouldn't die. She died. And now I don't believe in God anymore. That often happens. I prayed and I prayed, and God didn't listen to my prayer.
Recently, I heard one of our devotees association. They used to serve a temple quite a bit. And they got disease and that stuff. Now the distance. I was just correlating myself. Okay, maybe when they went through the hardship, seems like they distance themselves. There could be another reason. At least if we just connect the dots, they used to come more. Now they don't come much. And what happened in the Middle East? They went through
difficult.
Yeah, health issues.
It's actually the test.
Oh, everybody's going to be tested. Everyone's going to be tested. You can't avoid that test. And sometimes he can be tested multiple times, not just once. So, what are you going to do? You have to accept, it's God's mercy. Whatever happens, God's mercy.
It's interesting, Guru Maharaj. Real pure devotees, when they even get a heart test, they don't even know that heart test. They think, oh, Krishna was so mercy. He gave very small
Less
test.
punishment then.
That it happens opposite also. If we think that it's a hard test, then that's
It's
also
hard.
another sign of testing.
And we're all going to be tested. There's no way you can get away with any. There's no way that you can get away with no testing. You know, Krishna is going to test everybody. Now, if you completely depend on the Lord and you don't get discouraged when things don't go the way they should go, and you continue in your devotional service, then you should have faith that Krishna is going to always protect you. That's the number one thing that a devotee should have complete faith in, that Krishna will always protect his devotee.
I was remembering, I think, yesterday also, Vishwadev, after getting so many shots, he would lie and literally no complaint there. He was only remembering, that person is Vasudeva, he's saying that time. Imagine the consciousness going through so much pain physically and almost on the deathbed. No complaint, and nobody actually takes care. He's the one person staying in the battlefield.
No, he was shot with so many
Arrows.
arrows, and he wasn't even on the ground. He was above the ground. But see, he was a Bhagavata. He could choose when he wanted to die. So he just died.
Tolerated all the pain.
He tolerated, so that he could instruct Arjuna.
And he teaches in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is, it's, for a person who is Krishna conscious, they can tolerate almost any situation.
It's the height. It's height.
Because they have faith in Krishna. So they just tolerate, knowing that, it's not going to last forever. The person that doesn't have much faith, they always become frightened, and they don't see any possibility that they'll ever be happy again, and then they commit suicide or something like that, because they don't see any way that they'll be happy. Right? But the devotee can understand, this is a test, and I should just be patient, see what Krishna's mercy, Krishna's purpose is. Everything depends on faith. If you have very little faith, you're going to have a lot of troubles in life. You have a lot of faith, and you can tolerate the problems. Even the worst situation, you can tolerate it. Like one time, my house burned down, and devotees saw me, and I wasn't worried, and I wasn't like crying or upset or anything like that. And the devotees asked me, so how come you're not disturbed by this? I said, well, I'm just thinking that this is what Krishna wants. So why should I get upset? I didn't set the fire myself. It was Omar. He was a little kid at that time. He went into the closet, one of the closets, and was playing with matches and set the whole house on fire. And he was lucky he didn't die. He ran away quickly, and he was only a little kid at that time, right, playing with matches. But then I realized this was Krishna's mercy, because the house was on fire. The fire engines came, and right next to the house in the garage was all my, my business. I was running my business out of that garage, and all my oils and everything was in the garage. The garage didn't burn.
Yeah.
So my whole business was intact, right?
Was it true, Maharaj, that you were actually giving some class or somewhere when you got the news that the
Yes,
house.
yes.
So what was like? I thought
I
it was
didn't, I
going to be
didn't,
on.
I didn't say anything.
Hmm.
I finished the class. I didn't get excited, you know. I got a phone call, your house burnt down, you know. I just finished the class. I didn't say anything to the people. And then I just, you know, gradually went back and I saw, you know, it was burned, but I saw that the garage did not burn. The garage had, you know,
Everything else is
it was like, I don't know, maybe $100,000 worth.
So even that thought did not come to you while giving the class. I was just trying to understand your.
Well, while I was giving the class, I get the phone call.
Yes.
And they said, you know, the house is on fire. And I just said, okay. And I put it back and I finished the class. And then, but actually, it was a good thing that it burned down because I was able to, and it didn't burn, let's say, everything didn't become ashes, you know, but everything got damaged. But but you could still count everything. So when the, you know, the
Assessor.
the guys came to you know, to count all the damage, you know, and the man was a really nice guy, you know. Yeah. I said, well, here's this thing. It's only like $200. I will put up $500, right? So actually, you know, I made money when by the house burning down, and it all worked out in the end. Yeah. But I wasn't like panicked because it happened. It was just, you know, Krishna's mercy. I mean, I didn't set fire to the house, and nobody got hurt. Those were the two main things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How did the house catch fire?
It was Omar.
was a
And,
guy. He was playing with
He was playing with matches in a closet, and he caught fire. And then luckily, he ran
No
out.
one else is there.
Huh?
No one else is in the home.
No,
Only Omar is there.
Omar was there. Yeah,
As it is burning, he just came out.
he walked out. Luckily, he walked out. You know, otherwise he could have died. It was dangerous. He was playing with matches in the closet. You know, and then some of the clothes caught fire, and he ran out. But actually, it was a good thing. It was a very good thing that it happened. And everyone was wondering, I said, why are you not so upset? You know, I wasn't upset. You know, because I was thinking, you know, there's something going on here, and I shouldn't get upset, you know. And it was a good thing because I had promised to give $100,000 to the temple, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. When the house burned down, I ended up with $400,000 in my hand. You know, I was easily able to give $100,000 to the temple.
Krishna plan.
It was Krishna's mercy.
Mhm.
A lot of strange things happen in life. You know, you have to be able to
See them.
tolerate. You know,
We can relate Maharaj because when the kids do small vicious things, we get so upset.
well, you know, I mean, kids can do really bad things, and they can hurt themselves or hurt other people. You know, so Omar, I mean, he was just a little kid, but he was like, you know, naughty, and it set the whole house on fire.
But
I didn't get angry.
got security out of it.
It's amazing to see like how Krishna orchestrated. Because Maharaj was only doing service. Service. So everything, you know, the fire was there, but nobody was hurt. Nothing got to the point
Nobody
where
was
Well,
nobody was upset. Everybody was happy in the end.
yeah,
And the insurance guy was himself was giving more.
He's also
he was a nice guy,
legally giving.
and the
So
garage.
that is only
the
clearly
garage
Krishna's
didn't.
plan.
Yeah.
The garage didn't burn. My whole business was in
Yeah.
the garage. All my were there. You know, so I was really happy about that.
And after that, you moved out of that, and that helped your business to grow.
That's when I moved into a
Better place.
big
Warehouse.
warehouse before I was
The
working.
whole thing is clearly Krishna's.
Orchestration.
And then you could do more donations and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's all Krishna's mercy.
Oh.
Anyway, we shouldn't worry. As long as we have faith in Krishna, whatever happens, it can't happen without Krishna's sanction. You know. Okay, well, I think we're.
Abhi, that's not the reason for you to start playing at fantastic.
No, you can't plan these things. You can't plan these things. I mean, this is the only time the house I was living in burned down. And I ended up making a lot more money because it burned down. But you shouldn't like purposely do it. You'll get caught. They can tell if the house burned down because of an accident or if it was purposely done.
Yeah.
People purposely do it
Do it.
often
Old houses.
to get the insurance money.
Hmm.
Haribol.
They show those kind of thing in the movies.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
All
Any
goes to
other?
Prabhupada.
Wonderful. I think there was a comment here. Yes, Mataji, you wanted to say, I think just Hari Bol Jai Srila Prabhupada. I think it was a comment.
Ah.
Acknowledging excitement. Hare Krishna, any other questions or comments? If not, we'll end the session. Okay, very well. We'll see you.
All glory to Srila Prabhupada.